Alright guys, so I got a video on a very different gun. So this is a KWA MP7, and this is actually my personal gun. I purchased this from my brother. So you might be wondering, are you getting back into gas blowbacks? Heck no, I'm not. Okay? Gas blowbacks have way too much maintenance, way too many issues for not much gain, if you ask me. I personally like running really highly upgraded AEGs, highly upgraded HPA guns where you get really short trigger pull, really good trigger response, high rate of fire. That's how I like to do things. Now, as you guys know, I always like to run low FPS. So I'll run under 1.2 joules with any given weight BB, no matter what I'm using, under 1.2, and I shoot quick on semi, shoot quick on full auto. The gas blowback, you can't do that. You can't shoot quick on semi-auto. Rate of fire is limited on full auto. So where this comes into play is getting higher joules, okay? So since it is a gas blowback, a lot of people don't know. Some people do. There are quite a few people that do understand the whole concept of this, where basically with a gas blowback or a HPA gun, you get more energy because the gas expands out the barrel. So longer the barrel, the higher the feet per second, generally, pretty much with anything. But with gas blowbacks, it's much better because it's expanding, so it puts more energy on your BB. That's where you get the joules. There's a lot more air coming out of the end of your gun, or in this case, gas, but with HPA, it's air. So you're going to get higher joules. Generally, a lot of people, don't complain about gas blowbacks. They just whine and complain about the HPA because, oh, it hurts more, yada yada. Gas blowbacks are in the same boat. You're going to get higher energy per shot. Basically identical to an HPA. The difference is, the HPA is scary and it shoots quick. With the gas blowback, it's got all the energy benefits of an HPA, but it's got the drawbacks of a gas blowback, which is, no hair trigger. I would say rate of fire is generally always below 25 rounds a second. I have seen some people get like high kappas that shoot insanely fast. I've seen some high kappas 35 rounds a second, which is freaking insane. But generally, you're looking at 25 max for a gas blowback reliably. This one probably shoots 20 rounds a second, probably no more. But that's what you get with the drawback of a gas blowback. Now, I purchased this for my brother because basically, I just want something different. I got some money to spend, so my brother has this gun, and I used to have one of these. So honestly, it's like deja vu when I'm holding this. It's just very, I don't know. I loved my old MP7. Now, back when I had my old MP7, I was playing backyard games. That was back probably 5 years ago, at least. No, we're probably talking more than that. We're talking, yeah, about 6 years ago is when I had my KWA MP7, and we were playing backyard games. We would get, like, I don't know, 4v4, so it wasn't like super back in the day with springers. We all had pretty decent stuff. A lot of our friends were running like Cyma AEGs, JG, M4 is what I had, KWA gas blowback. I only had 2 mags, I believe, so I was very limited, but I would compete with the players when we'd play in the woods. I was using 3 6-gram BBs in mine because it was overhopping because the bucking was swollen. So I remember that. I was using really heavy BBs to compensate, and I was shooting 200 feet with .36s. Like, it was insane. And I remember playing with that gun as a primary. I think it was 2 mags. I might have only had 1, and I would just have fun, had a blast. And so I kind of want to have a blast from the past, I guess you could say. And so I'm going to purchase this for my brother and myself. What am I going to use this gun for? Outdoors? Heck no, probably not. Again, I am a very competitive airsofter. I want to play to win, technically, is the way some people look at it. I don't get all salty when I don't win. I don't whine and complain, go complain. Their team's stacked. They have too good of guns. They're shooting too quick. You will never hear me say stuff like that. So I prefer that whole quick gameplay, but I normally use the HPA, the AEGs to do that because basically to compensate for my lack of my knee, pretty much. My knee is a pile of junk. It's trash. Just that's what it is. I can't run quick because You go on YouTube, you watch plenty of other speed softers. They'll use high kappas. They'll use gas blowbacks. they'll run around, get up close and personal with people, and absolutely dominate. I can't do that because I'm not quick on my feet. I'm just not. My knee, all my life, my knee has been absolute trash. I was probably born with it. Basically, my kneecap is incredibly loose. I don't want to get into the story on that, but it's garbage. I have to wear a knee brace, otherwise my kneecap will move and jam up, and basically I fall to the ground in agonizing pain, and it swells up for like 2 weeks. So, it sucks. It really does. So, basically, I have to wear that knee brace, and I have to be careful. So, onto the gun. It comes with 4 magazines, purchased from my brother, the gun 4 mags, which is plenty. So, I got 1 in the gun, and then I have 3 on my belt. I use him for mag pouches, but they're the elastic kind. I forget exactly what brand they are. They're like the Blue Force Gear replicas is what they are, and so it's very tight, so it'll hold on to the MP7 mags. They won't go anywhere, so I have 3 here, 1 in the gun. That's perfect. Now, I'm going to do the shooting portion of this video later. I'm going to chrono it a few shots here with .2 BBs, but I'll probably chrono it with heavier BBs when I go to shoot it outside and film that as well. As far as the gun, it is missing the front cap because it broke off, which honestly isn't a big deal at all. It's still kind of slim and sleek on the front. It doesn't bother me at all. You could glue it on the front. The hop-up adjustment's right there, so it's a little bit easier to get to without that cap on the front. It's got the steel flash hider, which is cool. Built-in vertical grip, which I do not like. I mean, it's okay. On the original one that I had back, 6 years ago, it was cut off. The previous owner had cut it off. We got the plastic body, metal rails, left and right side, and top, of course. You got the KWA MP7 sights with the dots. This one is broken. So, I've got a T1 on here. This is a Field Sport with a UTG riser. It's got the thumb mount, so I can unscrew that real quick. Got the HK MP7 sling swivel, which has just threads on it. That's how it came. I don't know how else I'm supposed to use it. So that's that came on the gun. Now, I did notice that the stock has been modified, I believe. I don't think it comes like this. And it's got 2 different positions for the stock. So in like this, which I would never play with, because that's be like a really small kid, I guess you could say. Like right here would be perfect. Right there. But it's a little long. That's a lot. I've heard a lot of people complain about that. The MP7 stock is long. Like right there would be perfect. But it's just really long. What else? It's got ambidextrous features. Ambidextrous selector switch, safe semi full auto. Ambidextrous mag catch. You can see it move there. Ambidextrous bolt lock. You push up to release. One thing that I don't like about this is when you charge the gun, you can't lock it. You have to have an empty mag in it. That kind of sucks. Ambidextrous charging handle. What else? What am I missing? Pretty much nothing. As far as the internals, I never had any issues with my MP7 back in the day with internals, besides the swollen bucking. The bodies crack. Now, I've heard they've updated their molding. I don't know if that's true or not, to be higher quality and less, basically, crack resistant. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll see. Time will tell. Good quality nozzle, good quality bolt. You're going to get good quality parts on the KWA MP7. It's all proprietary, which really sucks. The buckings are trash because they swell when you get lubricant on it. So use propane. Don't use green gas because your buckings will swell. And don't spray lube anywhere where it'll get into your hop-up. So don't spray it down your nozzle or down the hop-up in the chamber because it will spray out and soak up. And you will screw that up. Now, it's a gas blowback. A lot of people cheat this system with a gas blowback. If you've been to a field, you've owned a gas blowback, you know what I'm talking about. You don't put as much gas in the gun. You don't fill it up. And that can drop your FPS anywhere from 20 to 50. So, a lot of people say HPA is hard to regulate because, you can adjust the regulator, blah, blah, blah. There's no lockout system for gas blowback because you could not fill it all the way up and fire and get, past the chrono and then fill it all the way up and get 30 FPS boost. Of course, it's not going to last as your mag dies. The gas reservoir decreases and the mag gets colder, your FPS generally is going to drop. But that's just the way some people do it. So I'll see. This is pretty much a full charge of gas. The goal is to be 350, but the main field that I'm probably going to use this gun at is 370 feet per second field. And then also one is a 400 feet per second field. charge looks like 357, 358. Wow, that's pretty consistent. Joule-wise, 1.19, again, 0.2s, so just above the 350 feet per second limit, per se, at 350 fields. I guarantee you they'd probably let me run it. It's not that high. I, personally, a 10 FPS grace would be fine, you know, if 350 limit, you know, then allow 360, but nothing over that. 347, 349, 336, so that was a drop. That's quite the drop in FPS. That's what I'm talking about with gas blowbacks. 311. Oh, see, I told you that happened, so I did load it a little bit too much because it started to dry fire. 295, 307, 306. So I'm pretty much getting exactly what I want out of it. 306 is 1.3 joules with a 0.3. That's not crazy or anything. For indoor, that's pretty dang good though. It's actually very consistent. Let's try some full auto. Dang, that's actually very consistent. 18.38 rounds a second, so 18. 1.4 joules with a 0.3. That's a full charge of gas. So that's on the high end, like I said. Okay, barely. I am very impressed with the overall shooting on full auto.